Welcome back to lesson number 4 in our music theory video series, or should I say lesson number 4, which is a whole note from lesson number 1. Now we're going to look at clefs today. This is important, and it always is dependent on your instrument, and they are different because they mean very different things, and we're going to see why in a second. No matter what happens, you're going to see 5 horizontal lines when you look at your music and first see what is happening in your new music that you get from your teachers. But you're going to see 2 different things. There could be more, but let's start out with just the most common. Some instruments will be called a treble clef instrument, and that clef looks like this. It's the first thing you see on the top left of your staff and every single line going down. The other clef for other instruments is called the bass clef, and it looks like this. Now they are different because they are technically different letters. The treble clef, this is an old way of writing a letter. The bass clef is also sort of an old way of writing a letter. If you like history, you can find the evolution of music notation, the way we wrote music online. It's really interesting. But this treble clef, to start out, circles a line. It starts on the second line and it does a lovely circle around it, and then comes back through that line as an extra emphasis, and that line is the G line. If you have a note on this line here, that's a G, which means this clef is also called the G clef. If you do a little bit of mental gymnastics, you can see that this G, or maybe a capital G, kind of looks like this. Now a bit more of a convoluted mental gymnastics gives you the bass clef, which is starting on this line here, and it goes around, it starts on it with a lovely big dot, goes around it, and then also like this reinforces with 2 dots surrounding it. Kind of abstract, but it still tells you that it's circling the F line. A note on this line is an F. Now maybe if I did a capital F, cut off this and turned it backwards, you will have a bass clef or the F clef. That's it. Treble, bass, G clef, F clef. Your instrument is dependent. If you play piano, then you will use both, because the piano has a range from down here all the way up to way up here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.